Mr. Switzer, and Ms. Griffin, you'll be the first to answer. To what extent should Tennessee state government be involved in working with the TVA and other energy providers on developing alternate energy sources such as geothermal, solar, wind, others?
All right, this is another one of the 60s issues. In order to, suppose I went to, I'm Albert Gore's son, and I want my son to be very prosperous, and I go out and tinker around with some inventions. And I come up with, you know, a little smoke, and I said, well, you know, how am I going to push that invention? Well, I know I'll go all throughout the universities, and I'll sell them on it, and then I'll tell them all the stuff they have now is bad. And that's what happened with coal. I was working at the university, and there was a gentleman who had a map on the wall, and he said, you know how much, this is 1 acre. You know how much coal is in this? $1 million worth. So at the university we started getting all these little, Jack Reeves was a political science professor, and he was also a member of the Communist Party. And he said, coal is bad, we can't strip the earth. And so the students got in the street and they said, stop and save the earth. And so this man, because the state legislature was so impressed with the picketers, that they passed laws, reclamation laws, that ran this man out of business. And Gulf Oil came along and picked up all the property for a song, and you didn't hear any more about strip mining. There's nothing wrong with using coal. Coal is a tremendous source, and if you didn't have the TV and the propaganda and the political science professors and all that, I tell you what, just leave us alone. Let us run TVA until we can get that oil out of the ground again. And I would like to see how many of you would really like to do without electricity. You cannot run a huge skyscraper on windmills. It ain't gonna work. That's a scheme. It's a job scheme. So leave the coal alone. Let's run TVA until we can get over to get rid of all these imaginations of what's going to happen to the earth if we keep using the coal up.
Mr. Marceaux.
It's quite a three-step thing. I sure don't want to muff it up, because I'm not ready to fall asleep in front of you people, you citizens. Okay, the oil. We have to go, like I said earlier, if you have a problem with finding an answer, you have to go back in history, back as far as you can to see and find the answer. First, we have to remember why we barred drilling in the first place, and what is the most important to use of that oil. Now, I'll tell you why we barred it. We barred it because we'd rather buy the oil from someone else, because when they run out, they won't have any more. And then we can drill our oil for our children of the future. Now, because, you know, oil won't last forever. So I'd rather pay a couple cents more and buy them off of them to guarantee, in case we don't invent another power source, my children would have it. Second thing is solar panels. Well, after my intense research, I found out by 2080, the whole southeastern United States is going to be a dry land like the desert over in Mexico because of the sun flares. Now, as long as you have, I don't know if anybody knew, last night at 12 o'clock, yesterday sun flare broke off the sun and came out at 1,000 miles an hour and like Aruba, and came at 12 o'clock at night, and no one even knew it, and no one even told you. I bet no one even knew that. Now, when that happened in between 2050 and 40 to 50, the solar panels will not work no more. So I don't think I can be for the solar panels. Now, windmills. Well, windmills probably work as long as we can find enough wind to make them work. Okay? So I think we have to go back and use what we always had in dams, hydropower. Okay? Now, I know it may sound funny, But what would happen if we can just turn the faucet on? This is one of my inventions, okay? A patent's going in for it right now. We turn the faucet on, okay, you have a stream of water come out. We turn a paddle wheel. Well, that, okay, but instead of using the faucet, we're going to take the fuel pump from the gas tank from a car. They go, ooh, you know, and they'll spin that wheel real fast, and in turn fill this personal residential generator so fast that we can produce our own energy right out of our own house using our water pipe system. And as long as we keep the water flowing, like we have some houses have it where it flows and it keeps hot water all the time. So we just keep this thing flowing, and it turns this thing so fast, we're going to turn the meter back, and they're going to have to send us a check from the nuclear power.